role as a carer involves changing your life, thinking what has to be done to make the person that you're caring for comfortable and happy in their life.
Baking was my delight, but now I can't do it and I can't look forward to it, I know. But I just enjoyed baking. That was family. I find for myself that holding the kettle or a pot with something too hot, when Keith's perfectly willing to do it for me. But I don't like asking him for everything, but it turns out that way you're integrated. And
the hardest part would be the change. Changing your attitude, your outlook, knowing what's going to make the other person happy. But the hardest part is to remember that what you used to do, you don't do anymore. It's all changing.
Well, it's the carer that's ultimately responsible for how well the person with Parkinson's functions, whether they've just got Parkinson features, whether they've got cognitive problems, whether they've got dementia, or whether they've got a whole combination altogether. It ultimately rests on the carer, and how well, the better informed the carer is, the better the carer understands, the better the outcome would be for that particular individual. And it is extremely important that they participate in the decision-making process and in the everyday changes that may be necessary to medication, to detect changes, to report changes, and to make adjustments themselves. And that requires education. And that's where this team approach is very important. I mean, it is important that the carer is trained to understand what is happening, how the medication works, how it interacts. If something goes wrong, what should they do? I mean, it's vital that the carer is involved and understands.
There are a few things that people can do to help at home. If the carer, the person who's looking after a person with dementia, follows a few simple guidelines, then it can make life a lot easier at home. The first one is that there should be a structure, a routine in the day. It's much easier for a person with memory loss to follow daily routine if it's predictable and regular. So that doesn't mean always having to hop in the shower at 8 o'clock in the morning, but it does mean that the day starts, for example, with the shower, then is followed by breakfast, then is followed by reading the paper, etc. Many people comment to me that the person having this problem often gets flustered or disturbed by changes in routine. So that's one thing. Another thing is to make use of a calendar, a large calendar, or even a whiteboard, so that you can write up for the person, what is this daily timetable? What's happening today? Who's coming over? Who did we telephone? Are there any appointments? Do the roses need pruning today? What about going out and getting the letters? That can actually be written as part of a daily routine, and that can then be ticked off or referred to, and then everybody's on the same page, everybody's thinking the same, and that can be a tremendous source of reassurance and comfort to the person, because with memory loss, life can be very, very confusing and perplexing. So a regular ordered routine is most important.
My feeling about respite is that it's needed for the carer sooner or later. I felt that I could manage looking after Beverly for as long as it took. But I find that over a period of time, it becomes a greater strain on you as a carer and her as the patient to get the best out of life.
For carers, I definitely recommend they get in contact with their local carer association. They provide lots of different seminars, ongoing counselling, and transitional things like accessing respite, all the way along the spectrum to sort of how to access permanent care if it's ever needed.
It can be incredibly trying when you feel that you need to be with someone every minute of the day. So my advice to carers is to make sure that you're well supported. Look at what services are available locally and tailor them to what your needs will be.